Hello, Odd Job Doer here, and today we got another cookbook review. And this little cookbook, as you can see by the little picture of a, looks like some of a salad, is Prevention's Cooking for Good Health, Easy Recipes for Low-Fat Living. And here's a first edition copy, hardbound. Came out in 1994, I believe, so it's getting a little bit older. I don't remember seeing any other copies of it. Rodell Press. Okay, I don't want to focus, but Rodell Press. Incorporated, copyrighted, edited by Gene Rogers. Has to do with Prevention Magazine. And so this is kind of a healthy cookbook. To get to the introduction here, we got appetizers, hors d'oeuvres. It covers soups and stews, salads, dressings, pasta dishes, meat entrees, poultry, fish, shellfish, one-dish meals, which is always fun and handy, vegetable, grains, and side dishes, breads, batters, desserts, healthy cooking hints. And they talk about here in the introduction here, as a little short introduction, where they talk about basically, signs of health. And what this book shows is, like, if it's a recipe has low cholesterol, you see this symbol here for people that are watching their cholesterol intake. If you're watching just low calorie in general, they got this little symbol down here. Low calorie, some shine there. And one of the things that I'm starting to do is low sodium. So low sodium, if you're watching blood pressure or have other issues that sodium seems to be popping up with, they have a low sodium deal. And one of the things that I kind of wish they'd have in here is if they have a like a sugar content. People watching their sugar type of thing, but they don't. So they have some more reading here about just general health and how to stay healthy by eating. And one of the reasons I like this book is besides the nice breaking down, so appetizer hors d'oeuvres, is they have recipe on one side basically, and a decent picture here of how it should turn out or how theirs turned out. I believe that when you're making something, if it has a picture, that's nice, but sometimes you really want to try to make the dish so it looks like the picture. Other times when it just has, a recipe, then you just make it and you figure that's how it turns out. There's no picture to really show if it's right or wrong per se. So this book here, let's see, let's show a price on it. Originally $27.95. It says higher in Canada, of course, and that's kind of pricey, I think, for $19.94. I don't know, but now you can get it for anywhere from, I think I've seen it for $1 online places to up to about $16 maybe. And they're not too hard to come by. It's not too much of a rare cookbook, I don't think, even though I don't think they haven't reissued it since '94. But this particular one, I think I paid probably a quarter at a local used book place where I get a lot of my books from. And the reason why I got it is, even though it's from '94, it still has some updated stuff. You go in the back, they talk about like guide to greens, and they show you some pictures of the greens, different salads, lettuce type things. They have, I think, a thing on herbs here. They talk about some fruits. What else do they got? I know they have something else back here. Let's switch hands and go into it. Pastas. So they have pasta stuff there. And of course, pasta has the carbs in it for the most part. But this book here, like I said, not too bad. And guess what, folks? This time, I'm going to make a recipe. So I was looking through here, and I was looking through the table of contents in the back there in the index. And I thought, what should I make? And so they have a lot of different soups in here. And, minestrone, different salads in here. They have some, like I said, meats in here. But what I went for was a vegetable. And let's see here, I got March somewhere. And the Brussels sprouts. This is actually a curried Brussels sprout recipe. We eat Brussels sprouts, and it kind of went from Brussels sprouts being cooked just by steaming them to broiling them, which is really good, or baking them in the oven, roasting per se, to this recipe, which is more of a stovetop recipe for Brussels sprouts. And I thought it would be something good to try. So up at the top here, you can see it. It has low cholesterol, low calories, low sodium. This book actually, will tell you in here, like the calories. It's saying 49 per serving. I think there's, what do we got, 4 servings in this thing? Yeah, it serves 4. It has a preparation time and a cooking time, which is kind of hard to go by sometimes. But serves 4, and so calories, hard to read, but it's 49 calories per serving. 1.4 of that is fat, no saturated fat, 2 milligrams of cholesterol, and 21 milligrams of sodium. And some things in here, let's see. This does not have you adding salt per se. Cornstarch, cornstarch, yeah. Cornstarch might have sodium, I don't know, maybe not. But if I come to find out there's things like baking powder out there, baking soda, those have sodium in them. That when you're trying to make a sodium-less bread, it's hard to make it because of the baking powder and baking sodas. Anyways, got this recipe here, curried Brussels sprouts, and I'm gonna make it. So let's go to the kitchen and see how it turns out. Okay, so now we're in the kitchen here, and what we'll do here is find the recipe. This should be a healthy one. Curried Brussels sprouts. So it takes 2 cups trimmed Brussels sprouts, which I have some big ones, so I actually took them and cut them into quarters. And then so we got a cup of small or sliced mushrooms. Same thing. I had big mushrooms, so I sliced them. Half a cup of diced sweet red peppers, or yellow or green. I have the red and yellow. So a quarter cup of skim milk. I'm using, I think, 1%. A tablespoon of light or non-fat mayonnaise. For a little trick that most people know now, instead of using mayonnaise, you can use like Greek yogurt sometimes, especially for like 1 tablespoon. We got 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, a tablespoon of minced fresh parsley, which I have dried, a teaspoon of curry powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. So over here, you see it's all mise en place, whatever, it's laid out in place. We got the mushrooms, Brussels sprouts in here. We'll do a little, this section here, I'm actually going to add a little water to that and then steam it. Parsley, the milk, the yogurt, the curry, which is a dark curry. We got red and yellow peppers, bell pepper, and the mushrooms, of course, black pepper, and the cornstarch. So first thing I'll do is I'll take this thing here and we'll add a little bit of water to it. A hole I poked in there. A little better hole. There we go. Get that runoff off there. And in the recipe, they say you can use a steamer, or in our case, we're going to use the microwave, which you can also use. There we go. We add a little bit of water to it. Come over here to the microwave. And we'll put this in here for 5 minutes. Alright, when that's done, I will add the mushrooms and the peppers to it, and then steam microwave it for another 2 minutes. So in the meantime, we'll get to the sauce. Alright, so in the bowl here, you have the cornstarch. You're going to add your 1/4 cup of milk. And you're going to add your 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise or yogurt, whatever you decide to use. And you're going to mix it together, nice and clean like. Get it off there. Till you dissolve the cornstarch. So that's pretty quick. Alright, and we'll leave that to itself for now. Alright, so we're back over here. You can kind of see there I added in the bell peppers and the mushrooms to this thing here. I gotta be careful, it's a little hot. I'll do like this here and stick it back in the microwave. And two minutes. Start. Alright, so next after we got the mushrooms and the bell peppers cooked up there, we got a 1/4 cup of the liquid from the steamed vegetables, and we added into our whisk mixture, a wet mixture here, and you get that over here, and over yonder, and you pour it into a pot. Get those things out there. Okay. Turn this to medium heat. And we will let that cook down. We'll let you cook up and get hot, bubbly. And you want to keep whisking this too as you go along. Make sure it doesn't scald or burn. And I'll get back to you when it gets bubbly. Alright, as you can see here, I've got a whisking going on. It's getting thicker, it's getting bubblier. And then when you get to this stage, you can add your herbs and spices, the parsley, the black pepper, and the curry powder. I put them all in here. There you go, a little help from the camera. And give that some stirring. Mix it all up. Switch hands. And this is almost done. It's getting thick, it's getting curried. The next one to add in is our vegetables again. Alright, so a little problem with the vegetables there, but because I didn't drain them. Make sure you drain them. You don't want any extra liquid in there. You gotta stir these things up, make sure everything's all heated through. And that's looking about done. So here we go. Curried Brussels sprouts. This dish here is a low sodium dish, low carbs, low fat, and should be high flavor. I will get back after I chow down. Oops. Alright, so this here's done. Alright, so the curried vegetables, the way it turned out was pretty good. I think one thing I should have not done was put a dark curry into it. I mean, just list curry powder as an ingredient. I probably should have went with a more lighter curry powder to keep the flavors lighter. And I think also when you're cooking down the sauce to it, before you're mixing the rest of the vegetables there, I probably should have cooked that down a little bit more, just to get a little more of a thicker sauce, reduce it. Otherwise, it's pretty tasty. Another way to do Brussels sprouts, paired off with another thing like the mushrooms, give you some more vitamins, minerals. And like I don't know if I mentioned before, but I like that they have nutrition at a glance here. So it shows, fat, calories, overall saturated fat in there, cholesterol, sodium. It'd be nice if they showed me like some kind of a sugar content, but maybe it's a little bit harder to measure out. Because you can have your natural sugars in the Brussels sprouts or mushrooms, whatever. So this is it for this cookbook here. Preventions, cooking for good health, easy recipes for low-fat living. And you know what? Even though this is an older filling book, they still have a lot of neat recipes in there that I'll probably try later on when I get the time. So, odd job doer. Thanks for watching this quick review. If you have other books you'd like me to try to review, go ahead and ask. Who knows? I might have it on my shelf. And thanks for watching.